Taehyung, call it inspiration. I couldn't stop thinking about the idea of you using something only I've chosen for you. No hand-me-downs, no leftover gifts. Just something special from me to you. Jungkook, you're so extra. Taehyung, maybe. But you like it. So, Bunny, what do you say? Ready for an upgrade? Jungkook stares at the screen, biting his lip to keep from grinning too wide. Taehyung's relentless confidence always had a way of flustering him, but he couldn't deny the thrill that coursed through him at the thought. Jungkook, maybe. Taehyung, good. I'll take that as a yes. Be ready, Bunny. You'll love what I've got planned. The thought of what Taehyung might bring leaves Jungkook both curious and slightly nervous. He sets his phone down, the playful grin lingering on his lips as he tries, and fails, to focus back on his drama. His mind, instead, drifts to Taehyung's promises and the possibilities they entail. Jungkook, oh, so now you're being possessive? That's cute, really. But I don't need any new, especially if it's just a cheap replacement for the real thing. Taehyung, boys aren't replacements, sweetheart. They're just accessories. I'm the real deal, the main event. Jungkook, well, I guess I can't argue with that. But don't think you can just distract me with shiny objects. Taehyung, who said anything about distraction? Just an extra treat for my bunny. Jungkook, alright, fine. What kind of are we even talking about? Please don't tell me you're imagining something ridiculous and pink. Taehyung, ridiculous? Pink? Bunny, where do you even get these ideas? Jungkook, excuse me for having a sense of humor. Taehyung, oh, no. I'm genuinely curious. What kind of questionable material have you been watching to even thought of that? Jungkook, yeah. Who said I watch anything like that? Taehyung, sure. The glittery pink comment says otherwise. Jungkook, I was kidding. Taehyung, were you, though? I think it's time we address your taste in entertainment. Bunny. Jungkook, you're impossible. Taehyung, and you love it. Now, back to the Jungkook, okay, enlighten me, oh wise one. What's your big plan? Taehyung, I was thinking something elegant. Maybe a sleek black silicone design, something minimalistic but commanding. Jungkook, you're ridiculous. Don't worry, Bunny. I'll pick something perfect for you. Trust me, you're going to love it. Jungkook buries his face in his hands, his heart racing as he types back, Jungkook, I hate you. Taehyung, no, you don't. Jungkook chuckles softly at Taehyung's confident tone, setting his phone on the table as he leans back on the sofa. The glow of the TV reflects off his flushed cheeks, but his thoughts are miles away from the episode playing in front of him. Taehyung's teasing words echo in his mind, stirring a heat that refuses to dissipate. He takes a slow sip of water, hoping the cool liquid will calm the warmth pooling in his stomach. But it's no use. Taehyung's promises, laced with authority and mischief, play on a loop, sending a shiver down his spine. What is it about that man that makes him feel so utterly at his mercy? As the episode continues, Jungkook decides to refocus his attention, but just as he's starting to settle, a sudden knock at the door interrupts him. Frowning, he glances at the time. Who could be visiting this late? Approaching the door cautiously, he peeks through the peephole, only to find a familiar face staring back. It's Nick. With a sigh, Jungkook opens the door, feigning a polite smile. Nick? What are you doing here? Nick steps forward, a small bouquet of flowers in hand and a sheepish grin on his face. Hey, Jungkook. Thought I'd drop by and surprise you. You weren't responding to my texts. Jungkook steps back, allowing him inside with a reluctant nod. I didn't think you'd come all the way here just for that. Well, Nick says, rubbing the back of his neck nervously. I wanted to see you. And maybe talk about yesterday. Jungkook stiffens slightly, the memory of Nick's overbearing behavior flashing through his mind. Talk about what? Nick sets the flowers down on the counter, his demeanor a mix of guilt and hopefulness. About how I acted. I know I was a bit. And I didn't respect your boundaries the way I should have. I'm really sorry, Jungkook. The words hang in the air for a moment, and Jungkook narrows his eyes slightly, studying Nick's expression. So you think showing up unannounced with flowers will fix everything? Nick winces at the sharpness of Jungkook's tone. No, I just wanted to apologize. I know I messed up, and I want to make it up to you. I even brought your favorite snacks. He gestures to the bag he'd placed by the door. Jungkook sighs, crossing his arms. Nick, you don't just get to waltz in here and act like nothing happened. What happened yesterday wasn't okay. I know, Nick pleads, his voice softer now. That's why I'm here. I care about you, Jungkook. A lot. And I hate the idea of you being upset with me. Jungkook shifts uncomfortably, glancing toward the kitchen as if it holds the answer to his dilemma. Look, I appreciate the effort, but I'm not sure we can just move past this like that. Nick steps closer, his expression earnest. I'll do whatever it takes to prove to you that I'm serious about us. Just give me one chance to show you. The tension in the room is palpable, and Jungkook exhales slowly, his resolve wavering. All right, he says reluctantly. You can stay for a little while. But this doesn't mean everything's forgiven. Nick nods eagerly, a flicker of relief crossing his face. Thank you, Jungkook. I won't let you down. As Nick sets the table with the snacks he brought, Jungkook's mind drifts back to Taehyung's earlier texts. What would Taehyung thought of all this? A part of him knows exactly what the older man would say, and it sends a shiver through him. Jungkook shifts uncomfortably on the couch, his hands fiddling with the edge of his sweater. Across from him, Nick sits stiffly, his gaze darting between Jungkook and the coffee table as if searching for a safe topic to discuss. So, Jungkook says, forcing a small smile, how was work today? Nick takes a moment to answer, his voice overly casual. It was fine, you know. Busy as usual. He pauses, then leans forward slightly, his tone softening. But I really came here to talk about us. About what happened yesterday. Jungkook tenses, his smile fading. Nick, can we not do this right now? I just wanted a quiet evening. I get that, Nick says, his voice earnest. But I need you to know how sorry I am. I shouldn't have pushed you the way I did. Jungkook exhales sharply, his fingers tightening around the fabric of his sweater. You've already apologized. Let's just drop it, okay? The silence that follows is thick and oppressive. Nick looks down at his hands, seemingly at a loss for words, while Jungkook avoids his gaze, staring at the flickering TV screen instead. Just when the tension becomes unbearable, Jungkook's phone buzzes loudly on the table, startling both of them. Jungkook grabs it quickly, grateful for the interruption. The screen lights up with a notification, and his heart skips a beat when he sees Taehyung's name. Swiping the message open, He reads it quickly. Taehyung, having a cozy evening without me, baby? Jungkook feels his cheeks heat up, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips despite the tension in the room. Nick, noticing the shift in Jungkook's expression, leans forward curiously. Who's that, he asks, trying to keep his tone casual. Your boss. Jungkook freezes for a moment, caught off guard by the question. Why would you think it's my boss, he replies, his voice a little too sharp. Nick smirks slightly, leaning back. Funny story, actually. I think I met him this morning. You, what? Jungkook's brows knit together in confusion. You met my boss? This morning, yeah, Nick says with a chuckle. Tall guy. Broad shoulders. Bit of a sharp tongue. He shakes his head in amusement. I didn't expect him to be so intimidating. Jungkook's stomach twists. What do you mean you met him? Nick grins, clearly pleased with himself. Well, I was heading to work, and he was just leaving your place. He introduced himself. Said he's your daddy. Jungkook stares at Nick, his eyes widening as the words sink in. His breath catches, and a flush of mortification spreads across his face. He said, what he manages to choke out. Said he's your daddy. Nick shrugs. Guess he meant it in some kind of playful way. He didn't really explain. Jungkook's mind races, replaying Taehyung's earlier texts and imagining the smug expression that must have been plastered on his face during that encounter. His pulse quickens, equal parts horror and disbelief flooding through him. What the hell was Taehyung thinking? Oh, Jungkook's voice comes out weak and unconvincing, his brain scrambling to make sense of the situation. That's unexpected, Nick laughs, clearly oblivious to Jungkook's internal meltdown. Unexpected? He's got some serious confidence, I'll give him that. Jungkook forces a tight-lipped smile, his fingers tightening around his phone. Taehyung's message glares up at him from the screen, as if mocking him. Taehyung, missed me yet, baby? Or should I come back and remind you who you belong to? Jungkook swallows hard, his heart pounding. Oh, he was going to pay for this. Jungkook presses the edge of his phone against his forehead, his mind spinning. Across the room, Nick is still in the kitchen, rummaging for glasses. Jungkook takes a deep breath, his fingers trembling as he types furiously into his phone. Jungkook, what the actual hell, Taehyung? The reply comes almost instantly. Taehyung, good evening to you too, baby. What's got your feathers ruffled? Jungkook, Nick is here. Taehyung, oh, how cozy. Should I be jealous? Jungkook, he thinks you're my dad. There's a brief pause before Taehyung's response pops up. Taehyung, well, technically, I did say I'm your daddy. Not my fault he can't tell the difference. Jungkook's jaw drops, his fingers flying over the screen. Jungkook, are you out of your mind? Taehyung, relax, sweetheart. It's harmless fun. He bought it, didn't he? Jungkook, that's not the point. He's asking questions, and now I'm stuck trying to explain why my dad is some ridiculously handsome, intimidating man who randomly shows up at my place unannounced. Taehyung, handsome and intimidating? I'm flattered. Jungkook groans, burying his face in his hands. Jungkook, can you please stop messing around? I have to fix this. Taehyung, fix what, baby? I think the misunderstanding works perfectly. Keeps him on his toes. Jungkook looks up as Nick returns, a tray with 2 glasses of water in his hands. His curious eyes flicker to Jungkook's phone. "Everything okay?" Nick asks, setting the tray down. "Yeah," Jungkook says too quickly, forcing a tight-lipped smile. "Just a work thing." Nick nods but doesn't look convinced. "You're lucky to have such a cool dad. He seems really invested in your life." Jungkook nearly chokes on his drink. Yeah. He's very hands-on." Nick leans back, smirking. "Well, I'm glad he approves of me. That's what matters, right?" Jungkook's phone buzzes again, and he sneaks a glance. Taehyung, does he think I approve? Cute. Taehyung, shall I pay another visit, baby? This time as your fiancé? Jungkook, I swear to God, Taehyung, if you show up here, I will kill you. Taehyung, careful, baby. You'd miss me too much. Jungkook fights the urge to throw his phone across the room. Instead, he plasters on a polite smile for Nick, all the while planning exactly how he's going to deal with Taehyung later.